Nicole Baker, and welcome to Tuesday Talk, presented by ANB Sports, brought to you by HAPS. Thank you guys again for tuning in. I am early today. I'm going to be doing my Tuesday Talks earlier on some weeks and then later on some other weeks. Just kind of does better with my schedule. So hopefully you guys can tune in noon. It'll be noon this Tuesday and it'll be noon next Tuesday as well. And then after that, for a couple of weeks, is going to go back to being in the evening when I probably have you guys' attention a bit more. So thank you guys for tuning in. Hey, Brian from Baltimore. Hey, Ricky G. What's going on? Thank you guys again for tuning in. So look, really quick, I want to talk about football from this past weekend. Oh my gosh, the Super Wildcard weekend was so amazing. I felt just so excited to sit around and just watch football all day Saturday, all day Sunday. I definitely want to give my thoughts about the games that took place on this, quick little show that I'm going to do for you guys. So let's start with the first game that was played. That was the Bills and the Chargers. The Bills and the Colts. So the Colts, like I knew that they would, they made it interesting towards the end there, but the Bills did come out with a win, advancing to the divisional round. I felt really excited for Bills Nation, man. They haven't won a playoff game in like 25 years. So that was super duper for them. It kind of reminds me of another team, if you know what I mean, Dallas. But they won their first game for the first time in 25 years. Playoff game. That was super dope for them. Really excited for Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Cole Bees. Those guys really balled out. The defense for the Bills did an amazing job. I was super, impressed with what I saw. And I was impressed with what I saw from the Colts this season. I think I kind of knew that the Colts would make some kind of noise this year because, Phillip Rivers is just a competitive guy. He's not going to give up. He's not going to stop. That's an attestament to, what they've done throughout the season in regards to constantly coming back, winning thrillers. The Colts definitely got further than what most, thought that they would. So, all in all, this was a good year. But the Bills are, like I said, on my ANB Sports Wildcard preview show, are seemingly unbeatable until they go up against the Kansas City Chiefs, obviously, in my opinion. So the Bills, again, advance. Really good game, like what I saw out of them. The Saints and the Bears, I think we kind of already knew what that was going to be. The Saints definitely did what they needed to do in that. Drew Brees looked great. Alvin Kamara looked great. Michael Thomas looked great. The Bears defense kind of tried to make it interesting, but it just didn't work. They have way too many pieces on offense there in New Orleans. So it is what it is. Rivers carries a curse since his Chargers days. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Hello from Cleveland. Hey, we definitely going to talk about the Cleveland Browns in a second. Excuse me, but yeah, we pretty much knew what it was going to be with the Saints. I kind of wish that Arizona had gotten into the playoffs because at least it would have been some type of thriller. I feel like it would have been some type of thriller had the Arizona Cardinals got in and whoever they played, it would have been good. But yeah, so Saints advance to the divisional round as well. And the Saints and Drew Brees will see Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. They defeated Washington, on Saturday evening. Look, I it's a couple of things that I need to point out here. I definitely have changed my pick. I said that the Buccaneers were going to make it to the Super Bowl. I have changed my pick after careful, just watching the Bucs defense, after seeing what they struggled against in Washington. Was it Taylor Heineke? The wide receivers, the running game. I just didn't like the struggles that I saw the Tampa Bay defense have on Saturday night. And Tom Brady, he's my favorite player. Y'all know this, but the man don't play defense. Okay, so, if we're banking on the Tampa Bay offense to stop Drew Brees, Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, this is the game to watch. This is literally the game of the weekend. if we are banking on their defense to stop that offense, it's just not going to happen. I really don't know. What's the news on Taysom Hill? I'm assuming that Taysom is going to be okay. I think he's going to play. Difficult to beat a team 3 times in a year. That's true, Ricky. And Tom Brady has never allowed that to happen. So I would hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. I'm thinking that, like you said, Tom Brady is not going to lose to the same team 3 times in a year. It just shouldn't happen. But this is not just all on Tom Brady. This is on his defense, and I just don't like what I have been seeing from the defense since they played Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. I think that was like week 5. That's the last time I saw them be some type of dominant force of a defense. So we'll have to see 2 40-year-olds going up against each other, 2 of the best to ever do it in Drew Brees and Tom Brady. So I'm super excited to see what that's going to be like. I'm going to give you guys my picks for these games coming up this weekend in the divisional round later on this week. Ravens at Titans, that was a really great game. Lamar Jackson finally got over his first round hump in the playoffs. And as I've been preaching for the last couple of weeks, Brian H. Waters can attest to this. Hey, Brian H. Waters, Hunam person. I hope that I'm pronouncing that right. Nice of you to join me. I know you said you just joined. We're talking Ravens and Titans. Again, props to the Ravens, man. They did what they had to do. Lamar Jackson definitely silenced his critics. He is past the first round of the playoffs. They are hot at the right time. That's what I was about to say. That is what Brian H. Waters and I have been talking about. His Baltimore Ravens being hot at the right time. They're playing the Buffalo Bills. That is going to be one to keep your eye on because, again, Buffalo is seemingly unbeatable. But the Ravens are hot at the right time. If they can somehow, some way, find a way to make Lamar a passer, if they can take away his run game, then the Bills, it's easy money for the Bills. But taking away that run game from Lamar and that high-powered offense, who are, number 1 in the league at rushing, I don't know if that's going to be as easy as I make it sound. Titans. Man, shout out to the Ravens defense. They really held Derrick Henry to the low. I mean, for real, Derrick Henry, I don't even think he picked up 60 yards on the ground, and we already know how much of a beast he could be. Obviously, some bad blood between the Titans and the Ravens. None of the Ravens players wanted to stick around and shake hands and, have any sportsmanlike conduct. That's fine. Brian H. Waters had to remind me. I shout out Brian H. Waters a lot because he's a huge Ravens fan. But Brian H. Waters had to remind me that, they pulled a couple of stunts last year at the podium after they beat the Ravens. So it's a bad blood there. These teams do not like each other. And I like it. I love new aged rivalries. I love to see, especially when it's a rivalry with a team outside of your division. That's always good. Bills are good at taking away the run game. It's going to be a close one. That's Michelle Alexander. I agree. It's just that the Ravens run defense run offense with Lamar Jackson, it's going to be tough. That's not going to be no easy task at all. So I'm excited to see that game this weekend. Seahawks at Rams. That was kind of a shocker how the Seahawks lost. Rams are going to be advancing to the divisional round. Their defense shut it down against the Seahawks. Russ and the Seahawks, man. And it's not really much to talk about with that. The defense did what they had to do. They're going up to Green Bay. I'm anxious to see if they can slow Green Bay's offense down, slow Aaron Rodgers' offense down. I'm up in the air about that game as well because that defense in Los Angeles is not one to be played with. Sean McVay got them boys out there balling, and he's making, because of the defense being so well, the offense is looking decent enough to score points and keep you in the game. So we'll see how that Seahawks and Packers game go. They going to Lambeau. We'll see what the conditions are. I don't know if it's going to be snowy. I don't know how cold it's going to be, but you really don't want to go to Lambeau in January. I would probably give the slight edge to the Packers, but I'm going to think about it a little bit more as the week progresses before I decide to completely commit to the Packers winning that game because I'm not going to sleep on the Rams defense. I was surprised LA was aggressive. I'm not surprised. They have the #1 defense. I don't know what we thought was going to happen. Aaron Donald and them boys, Ramsey, all of them, they balling out. Number one defense for a reason. Browns and Steelers. Hey, Mike from Nashville. Browns and Steelers, y'all. Okay, so just a quick little backstory. Sat watching this game. For me, this was the game of the week. I like Baker Mayfield. I like the Cleveland Browns. I have seen how much of a train wreck that the Steelers have been in the last couple of weeks, despite the 11-0 start. Okay, so I knew that this was going to be a good one. And 15 seconds into the game, Steelers fumble the ball. Browns jump on it in the end zone for a touchdown. It did not get any better for the Steelers. I think their next possession, Ben Roethlisberger threw an interception. The next possession, they punted. The Browns scored. The next possession for the Steelers, Big Ben throws another interception. I mean, before the first quarter was over, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but before the first quarter was over, the Browns had 28 points. It was 28-0. As a matter of fact, I think I'm right on that because I looked at my clock. It felt like it was such a late evening. That's how the score made me feel like it was later in the game than what it was, making me think that it was later in the evening than what it was. It wasn't even 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I just was like, you know what? This game is over. Hey, Mark Gunnels. Lambeau in January is like volunteering for the Donner Party, right? Yeah, man, it's crazy up in there in Lambeau. I do not. Nobody wants to go to Lambeau in January, but yeah, Browns and Steelers. Browns really did that. I'm really proud of how they kind of came together. They didn't have a head coach. Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. We already know what they give out the backfield. Being that two-headed monster, and Baker Mayfield looked like money. I'm just really impressed with how good Baker looks this year. Super comfortable, super not flustered. I noticed he's not doing a whole lot of talking. He's letting his play talk for itself. Unlike somebody over on the Steelers side and Juju Smith-Schuster, number 19, Brian H. Waters can't stand number 19. That's right. I said it on my show. Brian, I'm calling you out all game. But Juju ran his mouth about the Browns. He ran his mouth and said just the same old Browns. They're nameless faces. It is what it is. And I understand that that's a division rival, but you cannot knock what the Browns have done this season. They look really good, and they proved that they were really good. Kareem coming for his old team. Yeah, the only thing about that is, and shout out to Diamond Halton for putting this out there. He said that this was personal. This was a personal thing for him going against the Chiefs, but he didn't get let go of the Chiefs for no reason. I thought that there was some domestic stuff going on. That's why the Chiefs let him go. So you're personalizing it when you were caught on camera having domestic issues, and that's why they let you go. They didn't just let you go for no reason. But yeah, Kareem Hunt is itching to play against the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm super nervous for the Browns. Really quick, but before I jump into that and kind of talk about that, I do want to talk about the Steelers. Y'all tell me in the comments, should Big Ben retire? Big Ben was certainly very pedestrian, if that makes sense. I think he put up like 105 yards. Again, he had 4 picks. It just 3 or 4 picks, something like that. I'm just not sure if Big Ben should run it back, but I don't know who they would have as an option. You damn sure can't start Mason Rudolph and expect he is just the absolute worst. Browns were my pick to win that one because of the running game. Yeah, it just wasn't a shock that the Browns won. It was a shock at how they won. It was a shock at how bad Pittsburgh was. Honestly, if he kept his COVID comments respectful, I would respect him. Glad to see him put in his old place, talking about Juju. Mark Gunnell says Steelers wide receivers wild. I know you saw what Chase Claypool said. So Chase Claypool, for y'all that don't know, he said, "Oh, bad game, but it's okay. This is just me paraphrasing. Bad game, it's okay. They're gonna get what's coming to them on Sunday because the Chiefs play the Browns." That's just a trash comment to me. Like, what? Like, what? I mean, that's alluding to understanding and knowing that the Chiefs are not only better than y'all, but better than, the Browns. And this is not going to be an easy game. What I have been telling the individual that I've been talking to about this season with, this is not going to be a easy out for any of the AFC teams. Each AFC team is about that action. So the Browns are not going to be just an easy win for the Chiefs. I expect the Chiefs to come away with the win, but I don't think that they're going to walk over the Chiefs. I don't think that the Chiefs are going to walk over anybody that they play, but that doesn't mean that I believe that they're going to fall to anybody in the conference either. I definitely have them going to the Super Bowl. They are on another level, but they tend to play down to their competition a bit. That's something that's, we've seen that. Ben got one more year in him. I don't like him, but the rival. So I'd like to comment. Yeah, so y'all think that Big Ben should go ahead and hang it up. I don't like change. And, I have a really hard time letting go of the older quarterbacks, let Mark Gunnels tell you. But I do think that this is should be the last rodeo for Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, come on. That was a playoff game against your division rivals, the Browns. And y'all, he just really stunk up the place. Baltimore can beat them. Baltimore can beat who? The Chiefs? Okay. Hey, Mario. Thanks for joining. I always see you on Twitter. Cleveland versus Baltimore title game. No, that's not happening. Y'all really think that Baltimore is getting past the Bills and that the Browns are getting past the Chiefs? The Chiefs sit out 2 weeks, and y'all all of a sudden have amnesia as to what these guys can do, particularly in the postseason. It's any given Sunday. I understand that. Now, these games are definitely going to be entertaining. But I really don't know, guys. Yeah, no, Mario, it's not happening. I don't see the Browns getting the best of the Chiefs, and I don't see the Ravens beating the Chiefs either. Listen, the Browns did an amazing job against the Steelers. Let's be very clear. But the Chiefs are not the Steelers. Those types of turnovers, I think that they score 14 or 21 points off of turnovers. That's not happening. Patrick Mahomes is not throwing 3 or 4 interceptions. Their running game, the Chiefs are not going to do enough damage to themselves to lose a game in the playoffs. I just don't see it happening. Them Bama's been sitting for 2 weeks. They've been sitting for 2 weeks. They're going to come out breathing fire, but it's going to be good. It's going to be entertaining. I promise it's going to be entertaining, but I really don't think that anybody's getting past the Chiefs. People don't really think Cleveland will win. They just want the upset. I can see that. We all love a good upset. Most people love a great underdog story. Now, do I believe that the Browns will beat the Chiefs? Hell no. Oh my gosh, though, if it happens, the field day on social media, what I'm going to be able to come on here and talk about, come on, like that would be amazing. So you're definitely right. Pittsburgh turned the ball over 5 times and they still had a chance to come back. Yeah, that's true. That is true. The Browns, well, to be fair, the Browns haven't been in a playoff situation where they led by so much. So perhaps that was just some inexperience of them kind of taking their foot off the gas a bit, easing up off the defense, just not doing what they were supposed to do. I don't feel like that they will, if they come up with some type of big lead against Kansas City, they're not going to be that lax, because they know how quickly Kansas City can turn the table. So it's just going to be, man, I need the rest of the week to really think about how these games are going to turn out. The only game that I'm 100%, only 2 games that I'm 100% certain of, honestly, sorry, Baltimore fans, is I really don't see the Baltimore Ravens getting past the Bills. The Bills offense is just super special, and I don't see the Browns getting past Kansas City. Now, I would love to see a Lamar and Patrick AFC championship. I don't think that they'll beat the Bills, but deep in my heart, I think I want them to beat the Bills, because I want to see a Lamar and Patrick AFC championship. Come on now. That is what my heart truly desires. But I really don't see it happening, y'all. Baltimore can serve it up anyway. That the Chiefs want a defensive battle or a shootout. the Ravens can create a shootout against the Chiefs. We've been watching the same Ravens. Have we been watching the same Chiefs? Hey, we'll see. Yeah, so that's the future. The commercials are already ready. Yeah, we'll see if that happened. Again, I'm gonna come back to y'all about the tell me who y'all think that who gonna win the Bucks in the Saints game. I'm dreading that game, y'all. I'm really dreading that game. I don't want to see Brady lose, but I'm just going to be so upset. I know that defense is going to piss me off. They're going to piss me off so bad. They're going to piss me off real bad on Sunday night. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. So, good. I'm happy about Tuesday Talk. I feel like that y'all tune into the earlier time on Tuesday Talk than you do at night. So I might have to keep it at a 12 o'clock situation. By the way, let's not forget that in the midst of all of this, there is still NBA basketball going on. I think that the NBA is kind of talking about postponing for like a week or two because they've been having some really crazy COVID outbreaks. With the Boston Celtics, I know a couple of individuals with the Wizards had to kind of quarantine. Wizards won last night, by the way. It's going to be Brady. Tough to beat a team 3 times in a season. I like the Saints, but the Bucks might get them. I hope y'all are right, because my personal favorite in the NFC is going to be 12 versus 12. Can y'all imagine? Let's just set this aside. Let's just do this real quick. Let's just do this in our heads. Just come with me on this quick little imagination journey that I'm about to take y'all on. Patrick Mahomes versus Lamar Jackson in the AFC Championship. Youngin versus Youngin. And then on the NFC side, you got 12 versus 12. GOAT versus one of the GOATs, and Aaron Rodgers. Can you imagine, like, the older guys versus the older guy, the younger guy versus the other young guy? Like, y'all, this is going to be, I might have, and then the Super Bowl. Can you imagine if Brady do get to the Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes or against Lamar or whatever, any of those older quarterbacks, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. I would love to see an Aaron Rodgers versus Patrick Mahomes Super Bowl, but that's not at the expense of Brady. Obviously, I want to see Brady there. But y'all, this is just shaping up to be so good. Rodgers, Brady, talent-wise, we'll know Mario. We know that. Why you want Mahomes versus Lamar, Mahomes versus Allen excites me more. I don't understand why you're not giving Lamar his props in regards to, like, he's an exciting player. I mean, he's a really exciting player because he's really putting so much on himself at all times. So I'm not sure why you don't like Lamar, Mark. Shout out to Mark Gunnell, Mark. I don't think Lamar really cared for them daggone Ravens at all. And I think it might be Mark, as quiet as it kept. I think it might be because you know that if they get y'all at a certain point in these playoffs, then they might win. I don't know. That might be something that you're struggling with, you know what I'm saying, in your own mind. But listen, thank y'all for tuning in. I have to go. I got to finish up some stuff. I appreciate you guys tuning in. This was super fun. Make sure that you follow me on my social media platform, AshleyBaker_21. Follow About Nothing But Sports platform as well, Sports ANB. This is going to be available via podcast. I'm going to go ahead and upload it once I'm done. So for the podcast heads that want to re-listen, or make sure that y'all kick this out to somebody to hear what we talk about on Tuesday Talk, make sure that y'all, grab the links from the podcast or just come back and rewatch it. We've seen Lamar Mahomes 3 times. He's already 3-0 against him. Fine. Good, because Young and the Restless about to come on. Bye, Brian. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I'm going to check in with you guys via social media for the rest of the week. I'm definitely going to give my picks in a few days as well. So thank you guys for tuning in. Have a good day.